I'm probably gonna remember because I'm not like NyQuil'd out. I watched the rest of the episode this morning.
You did?
I'm legitimately embarrassed.
Really?
A little bit.
We can take it down. If you
No,
want.
it's not like we're gonna take it down, but it's just like I'm freaking out. My brain is not working.
I'm sorry.
It's kind of funny, but yeah, I am like.
You were still sick.
I had sick brain, but also NyQuil on top of that.
I've never taken NyQuil. It scares me.
Yeah, I've never taken
Dayquil.
I've never taken it until then.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually when I'm sick, I'm sick.
Did it do anything? What's it do?
Yeah, it
besides fuck you up.
Especially NyQuil, it makes you really tired. It helps you sleep.
Oh, see, I don't have that problem when I have a cold. Like all I want to do is sleep.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
So that's usually why I don't take NyQuil or Dayquil, but it does make you feel a little. It's kind of like it feels like little painkillers.
Oh,
You're taking painkillers before, they kind of make you feel a little floaty.
Yeah.
It's got that.
Huh.
So it's kind of fun to take. I don't know, but also not because it just makes you fucking stupid.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I had someone I know who was like really into lean.
Which is like that mixed with something else, right?
And maybe I'm wrong. I'm under the impression it's NyQuil and Sprite.
I thought it was something like that,
and
too.
sometimes they put ecstasy in it to make it really fucking crazy.
Huh.
Which I'm like, holy shit. Just NyQuil's enough.
Yeah.
I'm like,
just the Sprite's enough for me.
Just the Sprite's enough. Well, also,
I'm
like,
gonna have a sugar crash after that.
Who's gonna drink that and be like, I want to party? Like, I'm gonna drink that and be like, I want to like
Bedtime.
curl up.
Yeah, what?
Curl up and hold my head.
I don't get the people who like the crazy like downers. Like,
yeah.
I wanna get. I want
you
uppers.
You want uppers?
Yeah. Oh, I felt bad though because I like when I was watching last episode, I was sounding so angry, and I really don't think I was. I think I was just like mildly annoyed, but I was like, I don't know. It just was like. Also, that was like a day or two before I started my period, so maybe that had something to do with it.
I think it was that.
I was like really annoyed for some reason, and not even with you, just like in general.
Well, I think what I was going to say is what probably compounded that was watching the episode. I did not let you finish a thought. The second you started to finish a thought, I would just break in with something wholly unrelated. Like not even like, oh, like I'm
beatboxing.
Yeah, no, I'm not even building off the bit or going somewhere. I'm just like this other thing. That's what I'm saying. Like that's
that's like, how the episode like started. Is because I was like, we need to talk about music, and then you're like beatboxing dog, and I'm like, what? and then
we're like, Bogo's been
yeah. Well, then I started.
And then you what? And
I was trying to play along with the insanity, but.
Well, and then you're trying to talk about Lady Gaga, and then I started going on this whole thing about like the music I was listening to like right in the middle of what you were talking about. So unhelpful. I was not a good host.
It's okay. You know what? We're
moving forward.
Filming this frequently, we're gonna have bad days. And it's going to be captured on camera
and
for
it's going to be uploaded to the internet.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And that's
gotta be okay with that.
You know what, though? If that's our bad day, I think we're doing pretty good.
Still funny.
It was really funny. Yeah. I feel like sometimes our bad days are the most funny.
Kinda, yeah.
Like when we're like both really tired and we're just like super loopy and...
Just barely, just trying.
Yeah.
Just trying.
Yeah.
I wonder if today's going to be like that.
It might be.
I feel like crap.
Yeah, I have a headache.
I have a headache. I got like 4 hours of sleep.
I think I just feel like shit because I ate so shitty yesterday.
Well,
I don't do that a lot.
Minecraft meal. Sponsored? No, it's not sponsored.
Yeah, we tried the Minecraft meal yesterday, and I mean, the food is just like normal McDonald's, but...
Well, and then both of us like McDonald's is fine for me if I then like I need to eat healthy right afterwards. But then I think both of us
got screwed
got an unhealthy dinner
Yeah.
on top of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wasn't thinking. Oh well.
I was, but it was like
It was too. You were in like a
was too late.
situation.
Yeah.
You were like in a whole thing.
I was in a
There's
situation.
a pickle.
Yeah.
So
It was more important that
that got resolved.
that I just get food.
Yeah. In that
you know.
situation.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah. So
So we're going to talk about it.
yeah, but yeah.
I was just not thinking. Like my roommates were like, "We'll pick up food for you." Like they were out doing stuff, and I totally could have just said no and gotten myself something. But I was just like, "Yeah, okay."
Well, maybe when we're done filming, we can go get like salads or something.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, and then my night after that was crazy because I couldn't sleep. I'm still struggling with my insomnia stuff, kind of, and so I was just like, so here's the this is what I want to talk about today. Was
What?
not even about that. Was about watching romance reality television.
Okay, yeah.
That's my newest cinema.
Cinema.
That's my newest cinema.
Okay.
I've been in before it was romance anime, and now it's romance reality television.
Okay.
Because it started with my roommates were watching MasterChef. They were getting really into MasterChef.
Okay. Is that romantic?
No, with Gordon Ramsay. I mean, if you think Gordon Ramsay's romantic,
If you think he's hot, then it's
if you think he's
romantic.
hot. If you like that,
You
like
like being yelled at.
being yelled at and no judgment, you know. But then that turned into just a conversation about reality television, and my roommate was like, "Oh, I want to watch Love Island. Let's watch Love Island together."
Okay.
I was like, "Okay." So we were watching some of the British Love Island,
Right.
and I don't know. I just was like, I was feeling it, but also like I think the group of people who were watching it wasn't as super receptive, and there was like, I don't know, it was whatever. But it just got me thinking like, oh, I want to watch, because Love Island's hard. I couldn't understand a single fucking thing they're saying. Like, it's the accents, but also just what they're saying. Like, if they're using the same words as us, but with a heavy accent, I can understand just fine.
No, it's like they're using like
Slang and references.
so much like British slang that you don't know.
No fucking clue what they're saying.
Yeah,
and
it's crazy.
And they'll say something like a joke, and everyone will laugh, and it's like it's almost like I'm in a nightmare. You know, like a nightmare. I'm back in high school, and like everyone like
Everyone's in on the joke and you're not.
yeah, or like, you know, in dreams, like people, like when they speak, they don't quite use, like, it's like more vibes. And
Right.
So like people will say something, you're like, I don't know what they're saying, but everyone gets it, and I feel weird.
Yeah.
It felt like watching that, and I was like
that.
and I was like, well, I kind of want to watch when were they speaking my language. So I remembered Too Hot to Handle. And I decided to give it another try. Because the first time I watched it, I started watching from the first season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was coming from romance anime, which is kind of, I think it's very idealistic about romance,
Right.
you know? And I think the flip over to reality television romance was a little too much for me. And especially Love Island, the first season is very much like, we're watching you at all times. And you bet, like, the intro of the first season is kind of creepy.
Huh.
It gives, like, and I'm meaning this in, like, the most sincere way, like, 1984, like,
Weird.
like technology is always watching you. And you better not.
Orwellian.
Or what?
Orwellian.
Yes. No, it came off as Orwellian, and it gave me an anxiety attack, and I stopped watching after 10 minutes.
Yikes.
Because the intro freaked me out so much.
Yeah. I also could never get into Love Island. I think
No, this is Too Hot to Handle.
Oh.
Too Hot
Really?
to-
That's the intro season 1?
Yeah. It's Orwellian. It's like, we have this AI, and they're in, and it was right when, like, this is like a year ago when, like, AI was, like, becoming, like, a big news point and stuff. And I was like, this is too weird. This is all too weird. It's freaking me out.
I guess, yeah. But, like, that's like not really what it's about though.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't remember the first season being introduced. They don't introduce seasons like that anymore, I don't think.
No. Well,
like how was the intro for the one you're watching?
So
you're watching the newest one.
Yeah, the one we're doing is a flip on past seasons. So they kind of introduce you already assuming you know how Too Hot to Handle works, which I think was a lot easier.
Okay.
It was like, okay, in the past, we've tricked people by saying, by creating a fake show and then saying it's Too Hot to Handle when they show up.
Right.
That's been past seasons. This is the first season I've seen. But they're like, this season, we let everyone know right away it's Too Hot to Handle. But the secret is, so Lana's like the AI character.
Yeah.
Is this season, there's Lana and there's bad Lana.
There's like dark Lana.
Yeah, there's like
I
evil,
remember that because I watched like the first episode.
Fucked up, twisted Lana, and she'll change the rules on you, and that's what we're not telling the contestants.
Okay.
So it was like all these contestants going, and they're like, we've seen past seasons, we know what this show is about, and it's funny because they're like, I'm on here, like, and all of them, all the people that go on the show are sponsored by someone else who thinks that they need to stop being such a slut.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So everyone's like, yeah, I'm brought on the show and I was sponsored by like my brother who's like married and like has like 3 kids and he thinks I can be normal, but I just want you to fuck. Like, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think coming into the 60s, I had such a different vibe with it.
Right.
And immediately enjoyed it. And then I think also coming from Love Island, where like Love Island, yes, there's a lot of making out, but there's a lot of uncomfortable makeouts in that show.
There's some uncomfortable makeouts and Too Hot to Handle too.
Well, no, I would say, but for me, it's like the games. In Love Island, they have like makeout games where it's like, go kiss this person. And sometimes it's like one person, it's almost like they're forcing themselves on the other person.
Right.
And it's like, this seems yucky and unfun. But from my perspective so far, on Too Hot to Handle, because the conceit is we're not letting you kiss. When they do, it's like when two people do kiss, they're going out of their way to do it. They're doing it,
Yes.
It's not saying you should do it secretly, but just like there's more of that spark and energy between the two people. It's not like we're just getting hot people and forcing them to smash their faces together, whether they want to or not. And no one can understand what anyone's saying because they're British.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
Too Hot to Handle is one of the best reality shows, I think.
Yes. And then when
there's this other show that you might like. I think it's called Perfect Match or something.
Yeah.
And so they get all these contestants and they find their perfect match, and those also become contestants, and then they're all thrown into a house and they know they've been matched with somebody and they have to try to find it. And what happens usually is like people will be like, I think this guy's my perfect match because he's like got a rockin' bod, and it's like, okay, you're missing the point here. Like that's not why and that's also not your perfect match. And so then they gotta go into like a booth to like try to confirm that they're a perfect match. And like it's so much drama like when they're not, because then they like know they like can't, they like shouldn't be together, but they just want each other so bad. It's like because they just want hot people. They've already fucked. They're already in deep. You know, it's like
damn.
Yeah. No, that show's also really good.
Okay. Well, I'm almost at the end of this 6th season.
Oh, you haven't even finished?
No, there's 2 episodes left.
I thought you said you binged the whole thing with your roommate.
Well, I had to put a break. I had to put breaks on it. Because we're on like our 5th episode of the night.
Oh my god!
And I was like, I wanted to do other shit tonight.
Yeah.
But I also like hanging out with them.
Yeah.
And they watched like 5 episodes the night before, and I'm like, holy crap!
Wow.
So we're on the last 2 episodes. We've taken a break we've been busy for the last couple of days. Everyone in the house has.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I might just watch on my own time, or I might watch with them. I don't know.
I gotta show you the clip of the guy crying when he's told that he can't.
I want to see that season so bad. Well, especially because if they're getting tricked to go on the show.
Yes, that was when they were still tricking them.
Yeah.
Which maybe tricking people is not like the best, but it makes her really funny.
Okay, the amount of people in their introduction, the amount of guys in their introduction of season 6 mention, like, I don't want to be the guy who just jacks off and loses everyone a whole bunch of money, so I've already been practicing.
Oh my god, practicing not jacking off.
Yeah.
Men are crazy.
They're livid. They're losing their mind.
They like, can't go a day without it. What the heck?
I think they'll die.
I think so.
I think they'll die.
And I think that's why they're the weaker.
Who let them be in charge? They can't.
I don't know. They can't even go without touching their dinghy for a day. Like, what?
They have no self-control, and they're allowed to control the nukes?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Come on now.
Nuh-uh.
Someone who can't get his hand off his dinghy has access to the nuclear button.
They should have a test you have to pass. If you want to be the president, you have to not jerk off for like 100 days.
Yeah, a test of strength.
Yeah, and then we'll really see who the leader of our country is.
Yeah, it's gonna be me.
Yeah, I think I did that accidentally.
Same.
Like what the
I went like over 20 years without.
Okay, the first 12 years don't count, you know?
Yeah, but I wasn't even doing that shit like when other people were.
Yeah, okay. I want to say something about my shit.
I was busy.
Well,
I didn't have time for that.
I was gonna say now you're making up for lost time.
I am now. Yeah. I am. But I can stop whenever I want. I'm not addicted. No, I'm really not.
Well, also,
I actually,
you have a partner.
Yes, and I don't. Now that I have a partner, I don't really do it as much by myself anymore.
I bet.
Cause I'm busy.
You're busy.
I'm busy all week. Yeah.
You got shit to do. You're working, and then when you're not working with him, I bet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guy.
But that's crazy. Guys are crazy.
Yeah, insane. We should lock them all up.
We should.
They should be illegal.
They should be illegal.
Yeah. Yep. Even trans men. I'm trans inclusive. Trans men should also be illegal. They're also problematic.
Yeah.
Non-binary people, you're on thin fucking ice. No.
No. They're okay. They're okay. They're cool.
They're sick. Anyway, why was I wanted to talk about
Too hot
to handle, but why was I bringing it up? Oh, because that got. I think also, I had like a change to my HRT, so that was. I think I mentioned it was making like hormone changes making me like not the walls of my enclosure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to rip out the bars.
Yeah.
So I've been on Hinge again, and as I've mentioned.
It's unhinged.
We should have like a segment like
we
Unhinged,
should.
Gwen's unhinged stories.
Let's do it.
I'm like over it.
Already?
I'm already over it. I've been on Hinge for like I think 3 days in a row. So my issue before is I'd go on once every 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
I'd get a whole bunch of matches. I'd send a whole bunch of texts, and then I just forget.
Yeah.
And it's not. When I say text, like I'm not even having a conversation. We're just
like hello.
We're saying hello. We're making a funny joke to each other.
Yeah.
And then one reply, and then I forget.
Right.
And I don't open the app.
Well, you're a busy woman.
Yeah, I just didn't have a lot of
energy for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes a different. It's like a different battery.
Yeah.
That you pull from when you have to when you go on those apps.
Yeah.
And yeah, that battery takes a while to refill.
Yeah. But lately I've been thinking about it more often, so I'm like, okay, I'll go in a couple days.
Okay.
I'm just regretting it.
The battery's been drained already.
No, it's not drained. I'm just like talking to people who I feel like don't know how to hold a fucking conversation.
Oh my god, I just liked a TikTok that was like men don't know how to ask women questions. I'll have to show you. They don't know how to do small talk or get
deep. They don't know how to talk.
Yeah, they don't know how to talk.
I told you the Scott Pilgrim guy.
Yeah.
His reactions were his replies were so fucking weak. I was bored. I'm over it.
Yeah.
And then there's another guy who was I'll talk about the Scott Pilgrim in a second, but just like leading into it, there was that one guy who on his profile was like, I can talk about anything. I love deep conversation. Like, okay, that doesn't say anything. And so I was like, okay, bet. I'll call your bluff.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
Let's get deep.
And he's like, you go first. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. What the fuck do you want to talk about? And he's like, well, I was like, do you really have something? And I'm pissed. I'm already getting this person's face. I'm already pissed about other people on that.
Right.
And he's just like, well, I have something if you have something. I'm like, all right, bet. Would you date a trans person? Unmatched.
I love that.
Yeah, I ain't got time.
Get right to
for this shit.
it.
I'm getting right fucking to it.
Yeah. Don't waste my time.
Yeah, I don't disclose. I mean, I'm not saying you should disclose that you're trans, but there's like other trans people on social media, on like YouTube that I watch and stuff. And there's one person I'm thinking of who's like a streamer, and I see her videos on. Sometimes I watch her videos, and she talks about like dating as a trans person and using apps, and she uses Hinge, and she discloses in her profile that she's trans.
Okay.
And then I'm not saying like you reap what you sow, and I think this is a sad situation, but then she constantly has sad stories of matching with like chasers, like people who are dating her just because she's a trans woman, like.
Yeah.
And then because guys should be illegal a lot, like one guy was like yeah, like she even outright asked like beginning like, did you just match with me trans? Have you been with a trans woman before? And he's like, no, what are you talking about? Like, I just think you're really cool. We should talk. And I like, you're right. And like totally talked her up. And then they started like, like getting together once. And then her friend, who's another trans woman, was like, I just saw the guy the guy you're seeing just messaged me on Grindr.
Oh my God.
And in his profile is like looking for trans, like, yeah. So just so unhinged,
dirty.
So it's like, I don't want to put that on my profile. I don't go through that shit. But then it's like, okay, conversation probably has to have at some point.
Yeah.
But it's also like, let's have it early.
Yeah.
So
I think it's smart to keep it out of your bio though, because you don't want any like weirdos, you know.
Let's at least have a couple texts go back and forth.
Yeah.
Make sure we're connected with reality, because there's some people that are just like, I'm so bad with small talk, let's go on a date, and I'm like, you're gonna murder me.
Don't ever
you're
do
gonna
that.
Fucking murder me.
I mean, you could make it like a video call or something. That's what I would do if they were like really insistent. Like if I was interested and they were like they didn't want to text or whatever.
Yeah,
but
I didn't think about that. I mean,
because you can always hang up and block.
Yeah, I didn't even say no. I was just like, I don't do shit like that.
Yeah,
but I didn't unconnect with him.
Because it's part of you still interested or no?
I'm just seeing how they'll respond.
Okay.
I think because we've been watching a lot of like romance stuff. I've been talking with my roommates about like, we've all just been talking about romance and stuff. And my cousin, she's just like, well, I just find people hot, and why don't you want to fuck all the hot people? And her partner is kind of like, he's more kind of, I guess, demisexual, right? Like he wants to have a connection with someone and know their personality. He's just like, his whole thing is like, I understand hot people are hot. It's like looking at a beautiful painting. I don't want to fuck the painting. Yeah. And I kind of see where he's coming from too. And so that conversation got me thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, like I understand some people are hot, and sometimes that makes me interested in them. But a lot of times, and it's not even like getting to know them that's necessary, because I have been attracted to people that I did not know until later I got to know them and wasn't attracted to them. But it's more just like the vibe and the idea that they have. Like I need to at least bounce a couple of words off of them. Yeah. And then maybe I'll get interested in someone. But not just from a picture of them. No, I don't know. Not really. That's just me though.
Yeah, you know? I don't think I'm that way either.
But like my like kryptonite is like parasocial relationships. Like, do I think Timothée Chalamet is hot after seeing some of his interviews? Yeah. Yeah? He's smart. He's funny. He seems down to earth and connected to reality. Okay. He did a Nardwuar interview, and he's like so self-aware. Wow. He was talking about getting ready for the Bob Dylan movie. And apparently he was cast to do it like almost 5 years ago or something. Whoa. And he put off on it. He was like, no, let's shelve it. I want to learn guitar. He put 5 years into learning guitar and harmonica.
Whoa.
And he's so funny. He's like, yeah, harmonica's great. Like, you pull it out of a party and then everyone leaves.
That's really funny.
And then Nardwuar was asking him, like, so, like, because the guy from Stranger Things released an album and there's other actors and actresses who release music. He's like, yeah, you know, probably in like another 5 to 10 years, I'll release a really self-indulgent album that my close circle will say is really good, but then I'll get roasted online. Like, he's just so like out and open.
That's
I'm
awesome.
just like, I see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just from like picture of him, and I think for a long time, just seeing pictures of him online and people being like, wow, he's so hot. I'm like, sure, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it. Personally, so I need to bounce off the springboard a little bit, you know. Talk to people.
Is that too much?
Is that too fucking much? Well, apparently, because some people out there are unhinged.
Yeah. No, I think I'm the same way though. Like, I think like celebrity crushes I've had have been because I've like seen their personality and stuff. Not so much. Well, and then they also might be good looking.
Well, I think it helps.
Yeah. Oh,
it helps.
yeah.
It helps. But
that's like Billie Eilish. Like, I think she's Billie Eilish. I think she's genuinely one of the funniest people ever, and she's like got such a great personality, and she's hot.
And
that's just the cherry on top.
And then you're into it. If they had good personality but they weren't hot, if they were hot but they had no personality,
I'm not as into it.
They need both.
No, because I thought that I liked Charlie Puth for a while.
Oh.
Because I was following him on TikTok, and his TikToks were funny, and I was like, he's into music, you know, we got something in common. I like how I'm talking about this like I know him.
Parasocial. Yeah.
And then he did a few like things that just gave me such a bad ick. Like the tweet where he's like just had to like pause in the middle of sex to write down some lyrics, and I was just like, I think are you kidding?
I think that gave a whole generation people the ick for Charlie Puth.
And then I'm like, I cannot get into it anymore. I can't even listen to his music anymore. Like,
oh shit!
No, it like really ruined everything for me. I'm like, no.
Well, especially if you're like, I'm not saying I don't do it. Listen to music made by a hot person.
Yeah.
Like when you get the ick for them, it's like all of it is bad.
Yeah, I don't. Honestly, I'm like, was it ever good, or was he just like hot and I liked his voice? Like, I don't know. That's
allowed.
I think it's fun. I think some of his music's fun. But now that I've heard him say that, like,
it recontextualizes everything.
It does. It does.
I went through that.
Yeah.
With the Strokes. Because I started listening to the Strokes in 2012, 2013. Mm-hmm. You know? And I was like, I kind of like this guy. Like, he's kind of grimy, but he's a rock star. And he's like an old style rock star, but he's like still kind of young. So like, it's not like you're into Mick Jagger, who's like 70.
Right.
But then as I got older, all this stuff came out about him dating exclusively dating 19-year-olds. Yeah. And he had a weird thing with, Kurt Cobain's ex-wife?
Oh.
Courtney Love?
Oh.
Yeah, and he wrote like a kind of a gross song about her, and
yikes.
Yeah, and then it just recontextualized all the old songs. And then now I read them and I'm like, oh, this line I just wasn't listening to because I was enraptured by my imagination. But now that I'm like sit down and actually listen to it, like this is kind of gross and this kind of comes off as creepy, and I'm not into this.
Why I can't get into it at all, because I never had that.
You weren't listening to it when you were 12, 13.
Yeah. I never had that.
Yeah.
And then having people be like, get into this song, and I'm like, this is problematic. This is like bad.
Yeah. I think red flag getting into the Strokes as a 20-year-old.
That is
as an adult.
Big
as
red
an adult.
Flag.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the cutoff to listen to Strokes is Julian Casablanca's cutoff, 19.
Yeah.
Right?
I think you're right.
Like,
I think you're right.
If you're younger than that, okay, he's brainwashing you. You're allowed to be brainwashed. I'm all.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be brainwashed.
Hey, we've all been brainwashed at that age.
And it's okay.
It's okay.
I think
it just happens.
It's part of growing up.
It is. It is.
But if you're older than that, honey,
you got to be making better decisions.
let's look inside.
Yeah.
Let's figure out
Reflect.
what's going on.
Hold up the mirror.
We can go to therapy by ourselves. Our parents don't need to take us.
Yeah.
You can go to therapy for any reason.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're normalizing it.
Yeah.
Don't go to BetterHelp. It's not helpful.
No.
Please sponsor.
Yes. Actually, yeah.
Yeah. Please.
Anybody can sponsor us.
Anyone can sponsor us at
you got
any time.
$5, Venmo us.
Julian Casablancas and the Strokes. Anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a good episode because I am like kind of sleep deprived. I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
But I did go on another app like at 2 a.m. and just like
Not Hinge?
Not Hinge.
Oh.
An app where I'm a little more popular.
Oh.
I went on Grindr.
Yeah, I figured.
Because just people are just, because it's like open season. People are just like hitting you up and it's insanity.
Right.
But I think once you sit with it, a lot of people are just sending messages. The amount of messages I got from people who were like 100 miles away, 100 plus miles away. I'm like, I'm not even gonna reply to you.
Wow.
That's insane. Or a lot of people who just like read my profile, or like who just obviously have not read my profile, because Grindr's pretty aggressive. It's like, what the fuck do you want? What like,
right.
What's the flip side that you are offering? And like, let's make it fucking happen.
How far would you drive for dick?
I was thinking about it.
I was just thinking about it too. I don't know. I think I wouldn't go over like 25
miles or miles an
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah, miles an hour. No, miles. Well,
I think for me it's time.
let me see how far my boyfriend lives.
Yeah, I think especially where we live, I think 30-minute drive is like, because then there's a 30-minute drive back. That's an hour. That's kind of fucked. But also like just where we live, I feel like I have to drive at least 15 minutes for dick.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's almost like I don't want to drive less than a mile because then it's like you're too close.
28 miles. Yeah, so like I said, I wouldn't drive more than, did I say 30?
I
I
heard
said
30.
25
I
maybe.
heard 30.
You heard 30? Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about time too. We're talking about time.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't drive more than like 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was one person I was talking to and I looked up like 30 minutes away. Okay. But
Is that your oh my god, words. Do you have the same
my limit? Yeah.
30 minutes?
I think that was just naturally happening
Yeah.
as I started like looking at people who were reaching out to me and people I was replying to and like kind of cutting out swatches and stuff. And
Right.
I think 30 minutes is I was kind of thinking in my brain. I was also like, okay, here's a thought process. It's 2 a.m, can't sleep, you're really down.
Right.
How far are you willing to drive?
2 a.m. I think it reduces. I don't think it's 30 anymore for me.
Oh, okay. I think mine is still 30.
2 a.m. I'm tired at 2 a.m.
Well, maybe it's because I have an issue where I can't sleep.
Okay.
And so I'm like, sometimes if it's 2 a.m, I'm actually more awake than throughout the day because I'm like buzzing. I'm like freaking out.
Well, like, I guess like for me, it would be like, it's like bedtime, but it's not that late. It's like 9 or something. And I'm like,
Okay.
I really want. Yeah, but like the problem is, like in theory,
You have a normal sleep schedule.
Well, no, like in theory, like I would drive 30 minutes, but like my boyfriend lives with his parents and he shares a room with his brother. So like
Sure.
I can't actually like do that, you know?
No, totally. I'm just theoretical.
Theoretically, if it was an option, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if I could spend the night.
Yeah. If I'm going at 2 a.m, I'm not driving the fuck back.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Fuck that. So,
Yeah.
anyway. People are a little better at talking on. People have more game.
good.
People have game.
That's good.
They can get into conversation. I think
I think they're
culture
more
of it
motivated to
pushes
make shit happen like and soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think the person was like wasn't trying to make things happen like tonight.
Right.
But was just like had game right out of the gate.
Right.
Probably bi. So I think that helps too. I think straight men need help.
Right.
They don't know how to talk.
No, they don't.
They don't. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they talk.
I gotta show you that TikTok. You're gonna laugh.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's the end of my story. It's not.
Okay.
It's the amount that I'm willing to tell on camera.
That's fair.
Okay, now that we're off camera, I think I enjoy sending nudes too much.